How often have you talked about killing someone?
Oh, Lord.
No, seriously.
30-year-old Victoria Worth is being questioned about her husband Shane's death. Months earlier, she had secretly plotted his murder, planning to make it look like an accident. But Shane's final words shocked investigators and turned the case completely upside down.
Shane, can you hear me?
I didn't do it.
Okay, everything will be all right.
Victoria believed she had orchestrated the perfect murder, securing her husband's house, car, and fortune. Yet her arrogance blinded her, ultimately sealing her fate and dragging everyone around her into ruin.
Some days I just wish he would get in an accident, die or something. There's a lot of things that could be done to make it look like this.
This is the time to tell the truth.
I am. This wasn't planned. This wasn't supposed to happen.
At around 2:30 a.m. on September 26th, police in Minersville, Utah, received a call from a resident who reported hearing a gunshot inside his garage. Corporal Cox quickly rushed to the scene, unaware he was stepping into a perfectly staged murder.
Hello! Beaver 6, go ahead and send medical in. We're in the garage. All right, man, I got some help coming for you. Got one maybe through and through braid.
Okay.
Through the chest, so we're gonna have to expedite some things here.
One through and through in the chest.
This is Shane Davis. He's still alive, but drifting in and out of consciousness. But before EMS could get him to the hospital, Shane managed to mumble something. A crucial detail that would become the first major clue in uncovering everything.
Looks like he's walked out to here. Just keep talking to us, Shane. You'll be good.
Shane, my name's Christine. I'm with the ambulance. If things go quiet, just keep going.
We're just gonna roll you back, Shane, okay?
Okay.
He said he did not do it to himself.
With Shane insisting he didn't shoot himself, detectives began to consider that this was not a self-inflicted act, but attempted murder. The officer counted 6 people in the house. While they were still seen as witnesses, their strange behavior and absence of a gun would soon raise suspicion.
There's about 6 people in the house. Do you guys know Shane to own a pistol?
He does own a pistol.
Okay.
It's in my room with him. I'm married to him.
I don't see one out here anywhere, so I'm wondering where it's at. Nobody's seen a gun or anything like that. He's got a gunshot wound to his chest.
As Shane fights for his life on the way to the hospital, detectives turn their attention to his wife, Victoria Worth. What officers don't realize is that Victoria's mind is fixed on a dark thought. If Shane dies, she would inherit his house, car, and fortune. With this twisted fantasy in mind, Victoria would go on to unwittingly reveal just how much she despised Shane.
Is he gonna be okay?
I'll tell you later. That's all I can say. Was Shane arguing with anybody tonight?
Just a little bit with me over a stupid comment.
Yeah.
He's been drinking nonstop. He was driving. I told him to come home. He needed to stop his. That is a fight that has come out quite a bit between the two of us, is drunk driving because of his ticket last time, which scares me. I have a 2-year-old daughter in the home, and the only comment I had made that if he entered the home that I would protect at any cost necessary for my daughter's sake.
Sure.
Victoria claims that she and Shane had a heated argument earlier that same day. She also brings up his dangerous habit of drinking and driving, almost as if she is trying to quietly shift blame away from herself. No one has accused her yet. With 5 other friends still inside the house, 5 more possible suspects suddenly enter the picture. This is when Victoria begins offering even more bizarre theories, deepening the officers' growing suspicion that this was never a self-inflicted death.
For anybody to cause Shane any harm, anybody that may be involved with this that we might want to look at?
I don't know. He's got his fair share of enemies. Some people have issues with him because of him getting physical with me a while back in the past. He had left. He was drunk. I told him bring his ass home because last time he went out drunk driving, he ended up in jail.
So guys, did anybody see Shane with a gun? Did he make any comments about harming himself?
I don't know. He's been drinking, and when he gets drunk, he gets kind of dumb. When he gets to drinking, he doesn't always make the smartest decisions. He has been going through a lot lately.
Did anybody see Shane with the gun? Brandon, you discovered him?
I discovered him originally.
A trail of blood stretched from the garage into the kitchen, suggesting Shane Davis had either been moved after he was shot or had desperately tried to escape. This discovery instantly cast serious doubt on Victoria's version of events. Detectives continued pushing forward, unaware that everyone else already knew who had shot Shane and why the gun was still missing.
Well, you guys know him, but he scares the living hell out of me. Since I do have a 2-year-old in my home, I will do whatever it takes in my power to protect my daughter at any cost necessary.
Now, you said Shane did have a pistol, from what you told me earlier.
He has a pistol. It's in my room. I can actually show it to you.
Yeah, just take me where and I'll look at it if you don't mind.
Yeah, we do have... He has his own gun, and I have a rifle.
Okay.
So they're both in here.
Is that the only 2 firearms in the house?
Yeah, his is right there.
Okay.
So that's his.
Set that right there.
And I have a rifle, which is...
Okay, you can leave it right there, that's fine. What caliber?
7mm 08.
Neither of these have been fired. And these are supposedly the only 2 in the home. Maybe we may have a shooter somewhere.
Just as the officers were preparing to leave the house, one resident finally spoke up with a revelation. He said Victoria had a secret lover who openly despised Shane and had been seen leaving the house around the exact time of the shooting. He identified the man as Mike Miller, a name already familiar to police because of a long criminal record. At last, investigators had a real lead, marking the beginning of the hunt for their primary suspect. Officers spread out across the nearby area looking for Mike, believing he could be the shooter, or at the very least someone with critical answers. A few hours later, one vehicle's license plate came back as a match to 27-year-old Mike Miller. To everyone's surprise, when officers approached him, Mike was calm, cooperative, and even agreed to come to the station for questioning.
Towards me and ended up going through the garage. I know she tried to keep him out of the house by keeping him pinned to the door. For a minute, she kind of kept him there, and then he got kind of pretty physical with her. He grabbed her wrist and he shoved her. And I told him, like, Shane, I will shoot you. You need to let her go. He wouldn't listen. I did what I did to protect. I shot him.
Despite Mike's calm and cooperative behavior, investigators sensed he was hiding something important. For now, they allowed him to believe he had escaped serious trouble. But just before the pressure could truly begin, Mike dropped a new name, someone he claimed was far more dangerous than Shane.
On the phone with, he had called her a bitch quite a few times. She had given the warning to Sean that if he came here, it wasn't going to end well. From what I understand, Sean is a very violent person. And Shane kind of said something to Sean, saying, he's like, you know what, Sean, go ahead and come down here. That then there posed a threat on the household because Sean wasn't going to come down here and just talk everything out. He would be armed, and he was going to come down here for a fight.
Mike told detectives that Sean, a close friend of Shane, had been on his way to the house with a weapon, ready to start a violent confrontation. But since Mike had spent nearly 5 hours on the run after the shooting, investigators suspected Victoria may have coached him on this version of events, possibly to support a self-defense claim. The problem was, Mike's story didn't hold up under scrutiny, and as detectives began applying pressure, his explanation quickly started to fall apart.
Please stop him, because there's 2 of you and just 1 of him.
The light wasn't on, and like I said, it's really cluttered in that garage, so I would have ended up falling and stumbling.
Hindsight 2020, is there a way that you would have handled this differently?
Yes, if he hadn't been so stubborn.
Yeah, I mean, but rather with using the weapon.
And that's something I thought about throughout the night while I was driving, is that I probably could have handled that a lot differently, but like I said, he was already getting fairly aggressive with everyone else and pretty loud.
Just as investigators had anticipated, jealousy and explosive anger painted a far more convincing motive than any claim of self-defense. With their key suspect secured behind bars, devastating news soon followed from the hospital. Shane had succumbed to his injuries. As Mike faced a manslaughter charge, Victoria quietly celebrated, convinced her carefully crafted scheme had worked and that she had fooled everyone. But she had no idea that her confidence would become her greatest weakness. 1 month after Shane's death, Victoria was still living comfortably in his home, driving his car and carrying on as if nothing had changed. She visited Mike regularly in jail and even posted emotional messages on Facebook about how deeply she missed her husband. To everyone watching, it appeared the nightmare was over and Victoria had escaped unscathed. But everything changed on November 7th, when detectives received an anonymous tip directing them to Victoria's Snapchat account. Expecting nothing groundbreaking, they were instead greeted with the very evidence that would shatter the entire case wide open. Hidden within those messages was months of secret planning between Victoria and Mike. While Mike had fired the fatal shot, the messages revealed the truth. Victoria had orchestrated everything from the shadows. With clear proof of conspiracy and encouragement to kill, detectives finally had what they needed to take her down. And even as Victoria remained smug and unshaken, insisting her plan was perfect, the walls were now closing in for good.
I mean, were there ever times that you and Mike talked about Shane together and that you were both upset with him because of things he was doing?
Yeah.
What was that about?
Just the way that he was acting and his behaviors at hand, and that if it was going to continue on, that we were going to sit down and sit there and say no more alcohol allowed in the house at all.
Mike had multiple usernames on Snapchat. Do you remember Devil Daddy 13?
That might be one of his.
You ever remember having a conversation with Mike about Shane when he was using that Devil Daddy 13?
Not off the top of my head.
It goes without saying, this was the last thing Victoria ever expected. Corporal Cox then reveals a chilling Snapchat conversation from just 2 weeks before Shane was shot, where Victoria openly admits she wants him dead. Her intentions couldn't be clearer. "I'd rather it look like an accident," she wrote. "It's the only way." Other messages, like "touch your wrist to make it look real," expose just how calculated and detailed the murder plan truly was. Still, Victoria tries to talk her way out of it, claiming she was only playing along to stop Mike, that she never truly meant for Shane to die. But the evidence is overwhelming, undeniable. And yet, even cornered with proof stacking up around her, Victoria still believed she had one final way to escape what was coming.
Abuse with me and Shane. But that doesn't mean that I ever wanted to lose him. Under no circumstances did we plan for this to happen. What went through Mike's head that night that it went all down, I don't know. Shane gets to drinking, he gets violent, and he gets terrifying. I know it's conversation, but at the tail end of that relationship with Shane, it did feel like I was trapped. That night it just went way too far.
Shane gets shot and he falls down. Who helps him? Anybody try to stop his bleeding?
No, I can't handle blood, and he wouldn't let me touch him anyways. All he did was grunt and make weird noises.
You can't explain that, Victoria. This is the time to tell the truth.
I am. This wasn't planned. This wasn't supposed to happen.
Except you're talking about murdering your husband with your lover. We're making this right for Shane. Shane's the victim here.
And I understand that, but I didn't plan my husband's murder.
How often have you talked about killing someone?
Oh, Lord.
No, seriously. How often have you had these conversations with people?
You're telling me that you're a perfect person and you've never done a single wrong thing in your life?
No.
I have
Or made a wrong
never talked about murdering someone.
Okay, but you've never sat there and made a wrong retort.
Remember what I told you Shane was dead that morning?
Yeah.
You remember what you said back to me?
No.
And you actually said to me you were worried about losing your house. Your husband just died and told you that. Do you think those things planted the seed in Mike?
And it might have. So planting the seed in there, possibly. I very well might have without even intending to do so. 90% of that, yes, was smart out remarks. Can I please go some?
I'll tell you this right now, absolutely not. What I have for you is an arrest warrant signed by the 5th District Court Judge.
Seriously?
Seriously. You are being placed under arrest right now.
I did not kill my husband, and that will come up, and I will sit there and make sure of it. You guys are making.
Finally, Victoria confessed to planting the idea of murdering Shane in Mike's mind. Unaware, she had walked right into Corporal Cox's careful trap, her words sealing the fate of her secret lover. Months later, Victoria was arrested and taken to Beaver County Jail, the same facility holding Mike. Mike Miller pled down from murder to manslaughter, receiving a sentence of 8 years to life. Victoria Worth was convicted of criminal solicitation and conspiracy to commit aggravated murder, sentenced to 3 years to life, her carefully crafted plan destroyed and her arrogance finally punished.